Welcome back to episode 27 of FM Metal Monday, urkfmmetalmonday.com. We've just heard from Nasjap there, and prior to that we heard part of a live set by Tensions Arise. Backstage now with the Creptter Children, who have come all the way from Melbourne. Hi guys.
Rock and roll!
Yeah, man! Now, welcome to FM Metal Monday. This is the first time that we've actually spoken for FM Metal Monday. I've had you on the show before, your tunes, but this is the first time we've actually sat down and had a bit of a chat. So why don't we introduce ourselves?
I'm Ibai Chantel. How are you all?
And what do you bring to the Creptter Children?
What do I bring? I bring blood and stooginess. I also play guitar. I'm the songwriter and the singer.
I'm Matty James. I'm just the fill-in, I guess, for now. I play the drums, and that's about it for me.
How you doing, everyone? My name's Nada Creptter, and I do all the live guitars on stage and backing vocals. I also record the Creptter Children, and I do all the synthesizers and all that kind of stuff in the studio.
And he's also a stooge.
And I'm also the stooge.
Nothing wrong with being a stooge.
No.
Anyway, how long have you guys been together as the Creptter Children?
We've been together since 2005. The project started when I met Nada. I was actually playing in another band at the time, and he was doing production for me. And I decided to leave that band and start the Creptter Children project with him because he was a lot more talented than the musicians I was working with in the past. And plus, they wanted to get married and have children, so I didn't have time for that nonsense.
And so, how did the name come about?
It actually came in a dream to me many years ago before I actually had met Nada. I'm quite into the whole spiritual thing, so I tend to see a lot of spirits and things like that. So a spirit had approached me in a dream and told me about starting a band and calling it the Creptter Children, which to me it means spiritually evolve, being aware of the spiritual things in life, the world around us, and things like that, the energies and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely awesome. So you guys are originally from Perth. Now you're in Melbourne. Now you've come up to Canberra, and I first saw you in Sydney. So you've been around the country.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to do in Perth for us for what we wanted to do and what we wanted to achieve. I mean, we're big dreamers, and nothing's going to stop us from getting what we want. We always wanted to be rock stars in the full sense. When I met Ibaya, I hadn't met anyone like her, guy or girl, that wanted it so bad, and as I did as well. I was doing a lot of production for some other hip-hop artists and things like that back in Perth, and I had the itch to get back into doing the whole band thing, and I met her at the perfect time. I was getting into doing all the electronic kind of stuff, so we collaborated on a couple of her songs, and it's been from day one. It's just been work. We want to do this, we want to do that. Why not? What do we have to do in order to achieve to go to Canberra? What do we need to do to achieve to move to Melbourne, to play in Sydney? What's next? We've been to LA. It was a big dream for us. We did it. We're going to do it again. Nothing stops us. Like Ibaya said before, she didn't want to deal with people that wanted to have kids and married, because our kids are our music, and we put that first, and that's what we want to achieve.
So how do you find the Melbourne music scene compared to Perth?
There's a music scene in Perth?
Population over here for sure, man.
Yeah, population over here, absolutely. People are just more open-minded, more creative. The venues here have been fantastic. The fans, they've taken on to us really well. They like our sense of humour. They like our craziness on stage. They like our approach to every gig, and even guys that that's seen our promotion strategies, I guess, that we put through. They love it, and you can do all that here. It was a bit hard for us in Perth. It's a small town the way we see it.
We don't want to bag out Perth. We have a lot of fans in Perth and that kind of thing. But for what we wanted to do and achieve, it's not going to happen in Perth. And all our Perth supporters understand that, and they're all behind us on that.
There's just not many venues in Perth anymore as there used to be as well. They all just got closed down and all that.
So when it comes to the singing, songwriting, or we know who does most of the singing, but when it comes to the songwriting, how do you do it? Do you do it separately? Do you collaborate?
Basically what happens is I'll write the songs and I'll bring it to Nada, and then he'll do a lot of the production stuff on it. He'll layer the synths, and then we'll go ahead and do the recording process. So the way I describe it is I'll draw the picture and he colours it in.
Do you colour between the lines? Do you get it inside the lines?
No, that's boring. Colouring, that'll be colouring by numbers. She gives me plenty of ideas, and because we've both grown up with different influences, we always mash them up. I might give her an idea where she might be stuck on something, or I might want to give it a different angle on it just to give it a different perspective. And if she likes it and I like it, we'll go with it, we'll try it. If it doesn't, we'll go back to what we originally had. But it's always a very creative process. We both jump back and forth on a lot of things, but with a lot of
and arguing,
fighting, but it gets done.
Like children?
Just like children, that's right, like brother and sister.
So, famous FM question. Just imagine for each of you, you're asleep, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you have a great idea, whether it be for a song lyric, a drum riff, a guitar riff, whatever it is. What do you do?
Well, first of all, we're awake at 3 in the morning. That's the witching hour. Also the hour where most people die in. So, anyway, that's got nothing to do with the question. I just wanted to be creepy and throw it in there. But, you know, if we do have an idea at 3 in the morning, we'll do it. You know, we'll be in the studio. He's in the studio all night. Sometimes I get tired and, you know, I'll just fall asleep. But, you know, we just do it. That's pretty much it.
Any ideas?
Man, I seriously do nothing. I just...
He drinks.
I just drink beer, and he goes, yeah, let him play this, and I'll go and let him play it, and he goes, nah, that's crap, or it's good, or whatever. If you don't do it right, you're out.
Well, it's great having the ability to have like a home studio these days. The technology is amazing. You can, you know, everything is cheap, but you can, or cheaper, but you can do amazing stuff with it. You just have to get creative. It doesn't matter what kind of, you know, you could have a $1 million canvas to work on, or you can have a brick wall and do great graffiti. It doesn't matter. Just do the best you can with what you've got, and if the idea pops in, that's the beauty of having a great little studio set up at home. You can just go in and lay it straight away. Don't have to worry, you know, bother anyone else.
Where's the most strangest or most interesting place you've thought of a song?
In the bathroom while taking a crap.
I knew he was going to say that. And he's like, can you bring me some toilet paper? Actually, the other night, again, this has got nothing to do with anything, I was in my room and I get this phone call and it's like, hey, it's Nader, I'm in the toilet. Can you bring me some toilet paper? I'm like, okay.
I've got an idea. Bring me some toilet paper. I know what to do with it.
So you've come up the Hume Highway from Melbourne. It's been a long day for you guys. You're up very early this morning to get here, and you're going straight home after the gig.
Yes, we are going straight home after the gig. I don't know why. We're kind of being party poopers tonight. I'm going to blame Nader for this.
It's a budget thing. It's a budget thing. Unfortunately, we'd love... And a driving thing, yeah. I do most of the driving, so yeah, we've got to get the rental back in time. So yeah, we have to head back pretty early, pretty much straight after the gig, which is unfortunate because we love hanging around. We usually do at other gigs, like we're at our home base, like for example Melbourne, or when we were back in Perth. Yeah, we need to do a Macca's run and stuff as well. But like, yeah, we love hanging around, but just unfortunately, budget-wise, money's becoming a part of an issue in the band now, so we have to kind of budget and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into it because it's a bit boring, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
So when I saw you guys in Sydney, you had a great time that weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was really good. That was actually our first time in Sydney, and I've never been to Sydney, and Nader and Matt have never been to Sydney. So, you know, it was kind of different. I mean, I wish we could have stayed a bit longer to check more out, you know, of the scenery and that kind of thing, but the club that we played in was pretty cool, so we'll definitely be going back there pretty soon.
Yeah, it was cool. We had a ball, met heaps of cool people as we're doing tonight as well here in Canberra, so you know, we're loving the road. It's going to become a regular thing. Maybe more planes, more plane rides next time.
Plane thing, first class, brown coloured M&Ms.
So you've got an album out. What's your favourite song on the album to either play or to listen to?
I missed that because of the noise. Was that off our album?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my favourites would be Playing Possessed. I guess, you know, that's why we call the album Possessed, is because that's probably one of our favourite songs. I like it because it's heavy. People seem to also like it too, and we get real into it. We always save that song for last, so it's kind of a special sort of thing for us. Plus, you know, we're pretty possessed. We're not like other people. We're kind of a bit weird and crazy.
My favourite song? I don't have a favourite. I like them all equally.
Like children.
Like, yeah, basically like my children. I worked a lot on them. So to me, the reason why we play Possessed last is I know it's a bit of it gets the crowd going and stuff, but it just builds up. I can't give a favourite. I just can't. I love them all. We worked hard on them, so.
I like them all too. Like, I do like all the songs as well, but you asked me which one was a favourite, so I went with Possessed.
Dude, how do you play your guitar on your back?
Well, it's the guitar's not actually on my back. It's on your back. I don't know. No, I don't really practice. It's just a thing that happens. I mean, we're on stage to rock and roll. We're not on stage to, a lot of people say we're a bunch of posers or whatever. It's like we don't really rehearse anything. We're just feeling the music. We're feeling the vibe. We put a lot of work into it. And we're not going to go on stage to stand around like a bunch of mannequins, a bunch of fucking idiots being boring. And it's like, we've come all the way to rock the fuck out, It's like, what the hell? And that whole thing, just throwing yourself around, and it just comes naturally, just being influenced by people like Jimi Hendrix and Angus Young. They just have that natural kind of thing, Rage Against the Machine, just going crazy.
We like to put more of a theatrical performance on rather than being that, the normal band that just plays and they're all careful with how they do things. We like to be able to sort of communicate with the crowd and be a little bit crazy, be more that entertaining thing. Yeah, visual, that's right. So what if we play like a wrong chord? So what? At least we're entertaining the crowd.
So, first time in Canberra, loving the venue?
Oh yeah, it seems like a pretty awesome venue. This is our first time here, so it looks like it's pretty rocking.
We're at the basement, by the way, and it's pretty good. People here have been awesome and stuff, so we're looking forward to. We're on next. There's a band playing right now, Gene Defect, and we're on after them, and we're looking forward to it.
So 2012, what's happening? What's coming up?
We've got our album that we're actually working on at the moment, so hopefully we'll be finishing that very soon. It's going to be a lot more heavier. It's still, the same Creptter style, still poppy, but I would say it's more going with the more black metal kind of influences, particularly on the drums and the guitars, and as well in the vocals too. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. We're also going to be doing a national tour, so we'll be going to Perth to play for all our fans, as well as hitting a lot of the other states in Australia, and we will be going back to LA.
Awesome. I know I had a look at the video that you guys did in Vegas. That looked like you had a wow of a time.
That was my favourite gig in America. I love Vegas. I've always loved Vegas, whether playing there or just going there to visit. Definitely, something to check out.
Awesome. Guys, it's been a lot of fun. Let's go and catch some Gene Defect, and then you guys are on next, so should be good. And thanks for being on the show, and safe drive back to Melbourne.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah!
Yay, stay creepy.